So there's protesters right now who are being confronted and being arrested right now after a 6-hour occupation of the University of Washington. And this has to deal with, of course, the crisis, the genocide that's happening in Gaza. Dozens of protesters were arrested at the University of Washington on Monday night after occupying a building in a protest over Israel's military actions in Gaza. So I think it's only fair that we at least play a couple of video segments of this. You're witnessing again law enforcement officers going after the protesters and basically arresting them.
The Pig Juniors.
There's a little bit more here. I want to pull up this right here.
Lieutenant James, the Seattle Police Department Poet Team. UWPD, WSP, and Seattle PD will be making trespass arrests here at this location. Any interference for this operation will result in your arrest. Yes. Okay. Fuck a bitch ass bitch. On the sidewalk, thank you. Falling bombs, children die. We love you. Don't take anything out of their pockets. You can process about 200 feet down the road. Okay. You make Palestine proud.
All right, so going forward, so let's talk about what happened here. I just wanted to play some of the video so you guys have an understanding because there's also another situation that took place in a different university as well. Dozens of protesters were arrested at the University of Washington on Monday night after occupying a building in protest over Israel's military actions in Gaza. The pro-Palestinian activists targeted the Interdisciplinary Engineering Building, the IEB, particularly funded with 10 million donations from U.S. aerospace giant Boeing. Oh no. Please make sure whatever you built there works, please. Due to the fact that we've witnessed the personal destruction of a lot of things from Boeing, with students demanding the university sever its ties with the aircraft manufacturer. There's a lot of reasons why. You don't want a rocket ship, the Starliner, or any airplane. Heaven forbid. Those things have been known to collapse. In November, the Israeli Defense Ministry signed an agreement to acquire 25 next-generation F-15 fighter jets from Boeing. The groups behind the action, named Students for United for Palestine Equality and Return, SUPER, UW, called for the university to rename the IEB after Shaban Al-Dalu, I'm sorry if I said her name wrong, who was a student killed in the airstrikes on Gaza. Eric Horford, a spokesperson for the group, told Como News, we're hoping to remove the influence of Boeing and other manufacturing companies from our educational space, period. They're giving money to the university. I don't think that's going to happen. We're here to negotiate with the university, and we are hoping they'll hear us and speak with us. The occupation duly began around 5 p.m. on Monday, according to CNN, with students refusing to leave the facility at closing time and hanging a banner from a second-story window honoring the student who died in the Gaza airstrike. A group wearing black clothing blockaded the entrance with stacked chairs, according to Como, while others overturned and satellite dumpsters to block off nearby Jefferson Road as organizers delivered water, coolers, and chairs to support the participants. The protesters were removed around 11 p.m. Individuals who mostly covered their faces blocked access to the two streets outside the building, blocked entrances and exits to the building, and ignited fires in two dumpsters on the street outside, said a UW spokesperson Victor Balata in a statement. After officers from Washington State's Patrol Rapid Deployment Teams entered the building, along with campus police and Seattle police, at approximately 11 p.m., around 30 individuals were arrested, according to Balta. So this is especially in regards to what's happening in Gaza. But I also want to pull this up here, too. Michigan Attorney General drops charges in a different university for pro-Palestinian campus protesters. Advocates for student protests and other critics of the U.S.-backed Israeli assault on Gaza Strip celebrated on Monday after Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel dropped all charges against 7 people arrested last year at the University of Michigan amid allegations of bias that the Democrat rejected. When my office made the decision to issue charges of trespassing and resisting and obstructing a police officer in this matter, we did so based on the evidence and facts of the case. I stand by those charges and that determination, Nessel sent a statement. She then took aim at Ann Arbor District Judge Cedric Simpson. Despite months and months of court hearings, the court has yet to make a determination on whether probable cause was demonstrated that the defendants committed these crimes, and if so, to bind the case over to circuit court for trial, which is the primary obligation of the district court for any felony offense, she said. During this time, the case has become a lightning rod of contention. Nessel is Jewish, and on May 2nd, the Jewish Federation of Greater Ann Arbor submitted to a court letter defending her against accusations of bias. The Attorney General cited the letter in her new statement. Baseless and absurd allegations of bias have only furthered this divide, Nessel said. The motion for recusal has been a diversionary tactic which has only served to further delay the proceedings. And now we have learned that a public statement in support of my office from a local nonprofit has been directly communicated to the court. The impropriety of this action has led us to the difficult decision to drop these charges. So I, for one, have to say, there's been a lot of ongoing continuous protests and movements that are happening, especially calling out the situation in Gaza. You have citizens speaking out and trying to put an end to this madness, at least sooner rather than later. And unfortunately, you have so many people who are right now still shocked and surprised. Again, maybe surprised now that's the proper word for this, but shocked with the continuous destruction that we're seeing in the Middle East. Again, and not to sound like a broken record, but I do recall Trump trying to quasi sort of maybe possibly doing a ceasefire there, but instead, oh no, Gaza's going to be turned into the Riviera of the Middle East. Horrible choice of words, horrible choice of actions, and it's the last thing that you ever want to say to the public, especially when we've seen so many people die Okay. And there's been torture and abuse and madness. We're seeing this war get out of hand. We're seeing this war constantly consume people. All what this war has done is lay down the foundations for the next war. There will be no peace, unfortunately, as much as I want peace to happen. When you have bombings happening in Yemen, bombings happening in Yemen, when you have political instability in Syria. But hey, speaking of Syria, hold on. Let's be clear on this. While this has nothing to do with what's happening in Michigan State or, of course, the great state of Washington, we're talking about politicians. This is the Syrian president right now shooting hoops, right now. Shooting hoops. I'm glad he got time to shoot hoops while there's so much stuff happening in their country. Isn't that great? Look at that. Shooting hoops. All the while, protesters are being arrested. All the while, activists and organizers are being rounded up. Now, look, I am all for the First Amendment. And I want to just pull up a video here too, just for us to be on point here.
I want to make a statement for all of us. Jamil, come here. All the lawyers, please follow me. I want to say one thing to everybody here. This is not just a victory for these students today. This is a victory for everybody that believes in the right to free speech. This is a victory that shows that when you stand.
Now, this is about Michigan State, not what the previous videos we saw in Washington. So let me go ahead and rewind this. Again, this is what happened in Michigan State, not in Washington State.
I want to make a statement for all of us. Jamil, come here. All the lawyers, please follow me. I want to say one thing to everybody here. This is not just a victory for these students today. This is a victory for everybody that believes in the right to free speech. This is a victory that shows that when you stand up for what you believe in this country, today, as we've always said, this was not about trespass. This was not about a felony conduct. This was the criminalization of free speech. And today, the state of Michigan agrees that you still have the right to speak up. Today, we want to remember that this is not the end. There's still students across the country that are facing this persecution. There's still a genocide that is happening in Palestine. And we should never forget that today we still get to stand firm and say, free Palestine.
Now, I am ever hopeful that people are still able to speak out. Look, I believe in the right for assembly. I believe in the right to organize. I believe in the right for people to peaceably assemble. Now, it is abundantly clear with the incidents that we are seeing in Gaza that people's emotions are going to be running extremely high. People are going to be visibly upset, as they should be. And more importantly, people have a right to call for an end to this. And I've been seeing this across the political spectrum of how much longer is this war going to last? How much more crisis and trauma do people have to go through in order for them to finally have some kind of peace? Is that a bridge too far? If we remain silent, it will continue on. Now, I did in a previous segment talking about how, Bernie Sanders was saying Trump was going after media. Well, okay, true, but so have other politicians. I just want everyone to understand, especially if you don't agree with the protesters, you don't have to agree with them. You don't have to like them. You don't have to join them, but they do have a right to assemble and to get their voice heard out. I'm very concerned about the future of free speech and what it means for all of us. And just right now, I just got an email from the Democrats that they're taking Trump to court. Great. But are you going to do anything to protect us? I mean, that's the thing I want to know. Will they ever protect us? Will they ever decide to look after us? Will they ever decide to do the right thing by us? And I think the answer is no. We have to fight for a better future, folks. If we don't, history will repeat itself.